Good morning, Hosho staff, students, and families. Yate Abina. We're ready to start our day, so everybody please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and bodies are still. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, friends, I want everybody to remain standing and recite the preamble together. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the second day of our school week and the second day of March 2nd. I asked everybody to remain standing for the preamble to show respect. Lots of people have died for our country and have taken great risks to be able to have us be able to say those words. And so I would like for us to show the respect that is due. Okay, friends, do you remember our music from yesterday? I'm going to play a little bit of it. Remember, somewhere in the world. And I guess we're a part of that now because now we're playing this selection. And so this is our 15 minutes. But every 15 minutes, somewhere in the world, somebody is listening to this selection. And so it's going to repeat and repeat that same 1 minute of melody. Do you remember? The name of the composer is Maurice Ravel, and the name of the piece is Bolero. Yes. Okay. Our artist this week is Albert Bierstadt. That's right. And so yesterday we looked at this painting, the Rocky Mountains, right? We saw in Wyoming and the Shoshone Village down here with our Native American people living their life down there in Wyoming around probably about 1850, 1860, 1863 this was painted. And remember we talked about the style of using light to accentuate things and make things look beautiful and romanticize the landscape. And so the painting we have today is called Storm in the Rocky Mountains, Mount Rosalie. And Mount Rosalie was named for Bierstadt's wife. So this is in Colorado, and you can again see the use of light in this painting. There is a scene within this painting where we have 3 Native Americans running after horses on this grassy slope. It's really hard to see for me to show you, but that is a detail that is in here. And when Bierstadt painted his paintings, most people did not live out in the West who were United States citizens. They lived on the East Coast, and there was a move, right, the westward expansion to go see what this country looks like beyond the Mississippi and up into the Northwest after the Louisiana Purchase. and Lewis and Clark in their adventures to go see what it looked like. So no photographs, right? So people who were artists had to go and paint these scenes and send them back. And then people were very interested to see what it looked like in a land that they had never seen before. It's not like us where we can just go on to Google and take a picture or look online or even drive there ourselves in a matter of minutes. But people on the East Coast would take days and days. It was very treacherous and dangerous, and they wanted to know what it looked like. And so this is the painting, The Storm in the Rocky Mountains, Mount Rosalie, painted in 1866. If you were going to paint a storm, what would it look like? That's Bierstadt, Storm in the Rocky Mountains. Okay, friends, I'm going to change it up a little bit and do our Bill of Rights before our poem today. So our Bill of Rights, we've been learning the Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution that protect our civil liberties, our rights as individuals. The government cannot put you in jail or harm you without following the law. They have to follow the law. So our 7th Amendment that we added, I'll read it to you just so you become familiar with it. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. So if you have a civil suit, this is not about criminal suits. This is not about the U.S. government trying to put you in jail. But what is happening here is somebody else might sue you, or you might sue somebody else and try to have justice served in a civil court. Maybe it's a property issue. Maybe there is an employment issue. There could be all sorts of things. But you have a right to be heard by a jury and not just a judge. Our founding fathers thought that maybe a judge might be influenced by government position, and a jury would be less likely to be influenced by the government. So we have our rights to have a civil trial with a jury. Okay, so we don't forget, let's do the 6th Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. 6th Amendment. Okay, and remember we had some birthdays today. Denise is having a birthday, and Isabella's having a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Now, they're not the only ones having a birthday. Do you remember yesterday whose birthday it is? Yes, indeed. Does this give you a clue? Dr. Seuss. That's right, Dr. Seuss. And yesterday we started to read a poem, and I had a quote from Dr. Seuss. I didn't know where it was from, but it's from his book, Happy Birthday. So how fitting. It's Dr. Seuss' birthday. And Denise and Isabella. All right, so happy birthday to you. Now, when you read Dr. Seuss, sometimes it's a little tricky because he turns words around and sometimes makes up his own words. So it's hard to read. Sometimes you have to read it nice and slowly. So happy birthday to you. If we didn't have birthdays, you wouldn't be you. If you'd never been born, well then what would you do? If you'd never been born, well then what would you be? You might be a fish or a toad in a tree. You might be a doorknob or 3 baked potatoes. You might be a bag full of hard green tomatoes. Or worse than all that, why, you might be a wasn't. A wasn't has no fun at all. No, he doesn't. A wasn't just isn't. He just isn't present. But you are you. And now isn't that pleasant? Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Shout loud, I am lucky to be what I am. Thank goodness I'm not just a clam or a ham or a dusty old jar of sour gooseberry jam. I am what I am. That's a great thing to be. If I say so myself, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to Dr. Seuss, who has given us such great tales. Such a clever poet. Okay, friends, announcements. We have sports starting back up. If you're eligible to play sports, then and you're in middle school, contact Mr. Bollock. If you're not eligible because you have some incompletes on your report card, you might be able to make those up. Or even if you can't make them up in time for sports this year, we definitely need to get them straightened out for next year, so that you can play sports next year. And also that you do your work so that you learn what it is that you need to know, not just for the fact that you can play sports. So if you have an incomplete on your report card, teachers will be reaching out to your parents to have a parent-teacher conference to figure out how we're going to solve that. You might be able to come up with a plan to do it between now and May 21st, our last day of school. If not, we have summer school options that are available. And of course the last resort would be if you haven't done any of the work or much of the work and you feel like there's just no way you could get it all done and it was too stressful, if you want to repeat the grade that you're in, then we'll talk to your parents about that too. No other announcements? So let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.